Just as some individuals behave as if they are poor but they are actually wealthy, so are also people on the other side of the pendulum who behave as if they are rich despite glaring signs that they are poor. This group of people consider themselves wealthy since they perceive themselves as receiving a sizable amount of money each month. However, the real issue is not their monthly income, but how much you have left after all expenses have been deducted. Take a step back and ask yourself this question. Could you survive if the money you receive today stopped coming in? If your answer is no, you are probably poor, but you aren't aware of it yet. Here are some warning signs that you are poor but still in denial. I'm going to list 6 warning signs which show you're the new poor. The first sign, your income cannot support your lifestyle. You know you're poor when things are getting more expensive faster than your income is increasing. According to the US inflation calendar, the rate of inflation in 2021 rose to an average rate of 4.7%, and the cost of living was very high, which put a lot of people in debt and financial stress. In 2022, the average inflation rose to a staggering rate of 8%, which has been the highest ever since 1981. And this further plummeted people into serious debts and financial crisis, with people barely even affording to eat 3 square meals anymore. But the question here is, has your salary or income increased by at least that much in the last 2 years during this inflation? Whatever profession you may be doing, you must be paid more to maintain your current standard of living. If your ability to earn an income doesn't increase at all to match your rent and other expenses, and since inflation is going up, then you're becoming poorer every year. 2. You have no emergency funds or reserves. If your source of income is lost, that is, if you lose your current job or you lost the business contract or whatever case it is, and you have no income coming in, if you're not able to survive for more than 3 months, then you're actually poor and you don't know it yet. That means you don't have enough money in your emergency or reserve funds to take you through a downtime. You should assess your own performance. Do you have enough money to make you through if you lost your job? You are poor if this response makes you feel uneasy, because only those who have kept funds aside for emergencies can be considered wealthy. You're on a path to poverty if you don't have enough money to last you more than a year. You run into crisis. 3. Making purchases using payment plans. Are you aware that using payment plans to buy things results in higher costs? They tell you to buy now and pay later, and you probably get a good deal and become so excited and sign up for numerous payments. However, most people are unaware that there is a fee associated with this service, and it could be as high as 30% or more. For instance, if a phone costs $1,000 and you have 2 payment options, upfront payments or monthly installments. While most people believe that monthly installments could consist of 4 payments of $250, totaling $1,000, this is not the case. You agree to pay 4 installments of $300 instead of 4 payments of $250 because the typical retailer levies a flat interest rate between 11% to 27%. Finally, the retailer makes $200 more simply because you couldn't afford to buy it right away. 4. You rely on fast food. You should be conscious of the fact that you are headed towards poverty if eating out is your main source of nutrition. In addition to possibly wasting money on useless items, you might be eating unhealthily, which could make you sick and cost you a sizable portion of your income in medical expenses. 5. You need credit cards to survive. With inflation increasing daily, a lot of people are now relying on credit cards to make ends meet. Try and limit the amount of credit cards you use because this could drain you financially. Don't use credit cards to buy unnecessary items, and make sure you pay your bills on time to avoid paying late fees, which further puts you into more debt. A tip here is try and use your credit card for big purchases. It is those little $10 and $20 purchases that sneak up on you. If you want to avoid death by 1,000 cuts, just use it only for big purchases, and of course put a self-imposed limit on yourself to help check your expenses. 6. You're having trouble paying your debts. You're likely poor if paying your bills gives you the creeps. The fact is that your bills have to be paid regardless of whether you're rich or poor. If paying your bills causes you so much anxiety, then it's a sign that you're experiencing financial difficulties. But this shouldn't cause you to be alarmed. Regardless of how much money you have, your way of life may play a role in your fear of bills. Many people have expensive lifestyles that they can't actually afford. I must advise you here, obey this strict rule. Try and maintain a budget every month and learn how not to overspend. Do not live beyond your means. Live a modest and simple life and don't live to impress people. Trust me, you wouldn't be afraid to pay your bills if you actually follow all these rules highlighted. Another tip here is try and increase your income. You must possess an asset that yields income or appreciates in value over time if you want to increase your wealth. Also, you could try and get another job with a higher pay, or you could try additional side gigs which could earn you passive income. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. If you thought the video was helpful, please hit the bell icon to never miss an upload, and also don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.